In the quiet stillness of a beach at night, a series of strange and disturbing events began to unfold. Eerie sounds echoed across the shoreline, causing alarm among the local residents. The unsettling noises grew so intense that a concerned individual decided to contact the police. Upon arriving at the scene, the responding officer also heard the chilling sounds. However, the situation took a more mysterious turn when the officer noticed a woman dressed entirely in white walking along the shoreline. What made the sight even more unsettling was the fact that she had no visible source of light and appeared to glide effortlessly across the sand. When the officer attempted to approach and communicate with her, she suddenly vanished without a trace. No footprints were left in the sand, and there was no evidence of her presence. This left the officer with an unsettling question. Was this an elaborate prank, or had he encountered something beyond human understanding? The beach incident remains one of the most perplexing cases in recent memory. The officer, equipped with training and experience, struggled to find a rational explanation for what he had witnessed. The complete lack of evidence, combined with the chilling atmosphere of the beach, led to speculation about the supernatural. Some believed the woman was a ghostly apparition, possibly linked to tragic events that had occurred in the area in the past. Others suggested it was an elaborate hoax designed to frighten and mislead law enforcement. Regardless of the theories, the case remains unsolved, leaving an air of mystery that continues to haunt those who heard the eerie sounds and saw the mysterious figure. In another unsettling case, a police officer was taking a break at an exhibition center, working on some paperwork when he experienced something truly extraordinary. As he sat at his desk, he suddenly felt a powerful force yank a heavy table away from the wall. This was no minor movement. It was a forceful pull that startled him. Curious and alarmed, the officer immediately reviewed the security footage to verify what had happened. What he saw on the tape left him stunned. The footage clearly showed the table moving on its own, with no visible force acting upon it. Further investigation into the incident yielded no logical explanation. Even with his extensive training to approach situations with a rational mindset, the officer could not dismiss the possibility of a supernatural force. A seasoned Japanese police officer found his life turned upside down after investigating a supposedly haunted house. Following his visit to the location, he began experiencing disturbing events in his own home. Objects would mysteriously move on their own, sometimes even hurtling across rooms. Unexplained footsteps echoed throughout his apartment late at night. Determined to get to the bottom of these occurrences, the officer devised a three-step plan. First, he placed protective talismans around his home, hoping to repel any malevolent spirits. Then he scattered flower petals on the floor to detect any unseen movements. Finally, he set up surveillance cameras throughout his residence to capture any paranormal activity. The footage he captured was chilling. A pale, ghost-like figure appeared in the darkness, hovering motionless before dissolving into thin air. The recording cut off abruptly, leaving more questions than answers. The officer, once skeptical of the supernatural, now found himself questioning everything he once believed. Late one night, a security officer monitoring the surveillance cameras in a closed mall food court detected the sound of a young girl crying. Concerned for her safety, a patrol officer was dispatched to investigate. Upon arrival, the officer indeed encountered a little girl who claimed she was searching for her mother. However, things took a chilling turn when the officer returned to file his report. His fellow officers, after reviewing the surveillance footage, informed him that he had been completely alone the entire time. The experience visibly shook the officer, raising disturbing questions about what he had actually encountered that night. Was it a figment of his imagination, or had he interacted with a spirit trapped in the mall? The world of law enforcement is no stranger to eerie occurrences, and a series of disturbing events in a prison cell reinforced this belief. One night, a corrections officer conducting a routine patrol noticed that a cell previously occupied by a deceased inmate appeared empty. However, the cell door had mysteriously moved without any apparent cause. Further investigations revealed that surveillance footage captured a shadowy figure standing behind an inmate in a different cell. Despite a thorough inspection, no explanation could be found. The unexplained events left the correctional staff questioning whether they had witnessed something truly supernatural or if their minds were playing tricks on them. A peaceful evening at a lakeside took a strange turn when a resident reported seeing a glowing white form hovering above the water for nearly 15 minutes. Alarmed by the sight, the resident contacted law enforcement. Upon arrival, the officers observed the figure and attempted to communicate with it. However, it remained motionless and unresponsive. The encounter was recorded, but the footage ended abruptly, leaving viewers with more questions than answers. Some theorized that it could be an elaborate prank, while others believed the officers had encountered an entity beyond our understanding. Ecuador police garage incident. In Ecuador, a police station's parking garage became the site of an unexplained event that left officers baffled. Surveillance footage captured a parked vehicle moving forward, despite having no key in the ignition. Security staff and law enforcement personnel reviewed the footage multiple times, but could not find any logical explanation. Theories ranged from mechanical malfunctions to supernatural activity. Previous reports from officers working at the station suggested they had experienced strange occurrences in the garage, further adding to the mystery surrounding the moving vehicle. Abandoned school encounter. In Brazil, a police unit responded to reports of loud noises coming from an abandoned educational facility. Locals suspected unauthorized individuals had broken into the building. Upon entering, the officers found themselves facing an inexplicable event. A door slammed shut with such force that they were left startled and confused. Despite searching the premises, they found no one inside. The incident remains a mystery, with some officers convinced they encountered something otherworldly that night. Cemetery security encounters. Security Officer 1275, tasked with patrolling a cemetery in Georgia, documented a series of eerie incidents during his overnight shifts. Using infrared technology, he captured unusual activity and reported hearing mysterious sounds. He frequently encountered shadowy figures and experienced unexplained disturbances that escalated over time. Eventually, fear got the best of him and he decided to leave his job. Some speculate he fabricated the footage, while others believe he genuinely encountered paranormal phenomena that drove him to resign. Conclusion. The numerous accounts of paranormal encounters shared by law enforcement officers across the world leave us with more questions than answers. From mysterious figures disappearing without a trace to objects moving without explanation, these cases challenge our understanding of reality. Whether these events were hoaxes, psychological phenomena, or genuine supernatural occurrences, they remain a source of intrigue and speculation. The officers involved, trained to be rational and logical, found themselves facing experiences that defied conventional understanding. The truth behind these eerie encounters remains elusive, leaving us to wonder whether the supernatural truly exists, or if our minds sometimes perceive what we fear the most.